Hello everyone, myself Mr. S.M. Kamble, subject teacher of Fundamental of Power Electronics. Today we are going to discuss about overview and syllabus of the course Fundamental of Power Electronics, whose course code is 22326 of third semester of the program Electrical Engineering. Now looking to the next, that is course outcome. Course outcome is basically the knowledge you will get after the completion of the particular subject or particular course. This is like the science subject which we already learn from the standard 5th to the 10th. After the completion of a single chapter in the particular science, at the end they are telling us like what we learn, that is आपण काय शिकलो. Like that, there is course outcome. There are 5 course outcome. Each one represents each unit, that is each chapter. So looking to the first, select power electronic devices for specific applications. This is related to the unit number 1, that is power electronic devices. Here we can see the various types of power electronic devices such as power transistors, IGBT, that is insulator gate bipolar transistor, and third single electron transistor, which is also called as SET. Now looking to the next, second CU, maintain the performance of thyristor, which is related to the thyristor family devices. There is a thyristor family. Thyristor family is nothing but the SCR, silicon control rectifier, LASCR, light amplified silicon control rectifier, SCS, GTU, gate turn off, SCR, UJT, PUT, diac, triac, etc. This whole performance of the thyristor, whole performance is nothing but the its types, its working, its VI characteristic will be seen in the second unit. Now the third one is unit number 3, that is turn on and turn off methods of thyristor, whose CO is troubleshoot turn on and turn off circuits of thyristor. Troubleshoot means check, turn on and turn off circuits of thyristor. Turn on is also called as triggering of thyristor, and turn off is also called as commutation of thyristor. So the triggering methods, there are various triggering methods which is also called as turn on methods. First is thermal triggering, second is light triggering, third is gate triggering, fourth is dV by dt triggering. And there are various turn off methods like class A, class B, class C, class D, class E, and last one is class F. So these are nothing but the turn off or commutation types. Now the fourth CO is maintain phase controlled rectifier, which is related to the unit number 4, phase controlled rectifier. We have already learned about the rectifier. Rectifier is a device which convert AC into the DC, but this DC is the fixed DC, not a variable DC, because in the uncontrolled rectifier diode is used, so diode does not change the output or does not control the output. But in the controlled rectifier SCR is used, so we are going to change the firing angle as well as the conduction angle of the SCR. Therefore we are able to change the output of the particular DC. Means in simplified manner, in the uncontrolled rectifier diode is used, in the controlled rectifier SCR is used. In the uncontrolled rectifier output is fixed, in the controlled rectifier output will be vary. Now looking to the last course outcome, which is related to the unit number 5. So the course outcome is maintain industrial control circuit, which is related to the unit number 5, industrial control circuits. Here we can see the various applications of the power electronics, such as burglar alarm system, battery charger using SCR, emergency light system, temperature controller using SCR, illumination control, speed control using TRIAC, SMPS, which is also called as a switch mode power supply, then UPS, uninterrupted power supply, offline and online, and last one is SCR based AC and DC circuit breakers. Okay, the subject name is power electronic devices because we have already seen some of the applications such as heat control, power supply for aircrafts, battery chargers, then conveyors, cranes, electrical vehicles, AC means air conditioners, refrigerators. This will be run on the high power. So these devices require more amount of current, more amount of voltage, which is nothing but more amount of power. So to run these all applications, we require some electronic devices which will generate more power. Therefore, this particular chapter or particular content in the whole syllabus is called as power electronic devices. Means thyristor families, SCRs, power transistors, IGBTs, then whole diac, PUT, UJT, these all are nothing but the power electronic devices. Okay, now looking to the next, that is teaching and examination scheme. Our whole syllabus contain 150 marks, out of which 100 marks is going to the theory paper and 50 marks are for the practicals. Again the 100 mark is distributed into two, that is ESE and PA. End semester exam is for the 70 marks, and PA, that is progressive assessment, for the 30 marks. 30 marks is again distributed into two parts. One is 10 mark for the micro project, and 20 mark is the average of the two tests to be taken during the whole semester. Now the practical, our subject fundamental of power electronic devices or fundamental of power electronics, having external oral. So for the external oral there is 25 marks, for the internal oral there is 25 marks. So the total ESE for the practical is 25 and PA for the practical is 25. So the total is 50. So theory subject total marks is 100 and practical is 50 marks. So the total marks for the particular course is 150 marks. Okay, now looking to the next, that is the whole syllabus of the unit number first, that is power electronic devices, which contain 6 marks. Here we can see various names or applications of the power electronic devices. Second is power transistor. Here we can see the construction, working principle, VI characteristic. VI characteristic is nothing but V for the voltage, I for the current characteristics and its uses. The third one is IGBT. Here IGBT is nothing but insulator gate bipolar transistor. Here we can see the construction, working principle, VI characteristic and uses of the IGBT. Now the last point is fourth one, concept of single electron transistor or the aspect of nanotechnology. This is whole about the first unit, power electronic devices. Now looking to the next, thyristor family devices, unit number 2, which contain 17 marks. Thyristor family devices is divided into two parts. one is power control thyristor and second is triggering devices. That is, power control thyristors are unidirectional as well as bidirectional. Unidirectionals are SCR, LASCR, SCS, LASCS, then SUS are nothing but the unidirectional, because in the SCR, that is in the silicon controlled rectifiers. Why it is called as a silicon controlled rectifiers? These are given a variable DC output, therefore it is called as a controlled rectifier. Why it is called as a rectifier? Because it is convert AC into the DC, therefore it is called as a rectifier. And why it is called as a silicon? Because silicon semiconductor is used for the particular conversion. Okay, therefore the name silicon controlled rectifier. If I have told you the thyristor is nothing but a SCR is nothing but a thyristor. Okay, so SCR is, or thyristor is unidirectional. Unidirectional means their current flows only in a single direction. There is a triac. Triac is a combination of two SCRs. If two SCRs are connected to each other, then triac is created or triac is formed. Triac is a bidirectional because in the triac current is flows in the both direction. Okay, now there are some triggering devices. Triggering means turn on, means SCR having three terminals, that is anode, cathode and third one is gate. This gate terminal is used to turn on the SCR. So there are various methods to turn on the SCR by using gate, by using all other triggering devices such as UJT, DIAC, SBS, SUS, etc. Okay, so thyristor family is basically divided into two parts. One is a power control thyristor, second is a triggering devices. Power control thyristor is again divided into two types, unidirectional and bidirectional. In the unidirectional there is SCR, LASCR, SCS, LASCS, SUS. In the bidirectional there is a triac. In the triggering devices there is a UJT, DIAC, SBS, SUS, etc. Okay, so in the first point we will see about the construction, how many layers are there, how many junctions are there, how many terminals are there for the SCR. Here we can also see the two transistor analogy, because the SCR is formed by using two transistors. Also here we can see the working and VI characteristic of it. Okay, now the second point is SCR mounting and cooling. SCR generates more heat because it is a power device, so we require to make it cool. So there are various mounting and cooling techniques. Third is type of thyristor, we have already discussed about it. Now the fourth is thyristor family devices. Similar to the types of thyristor, we have already discussed about the thyristor family devices. Also the last point is a protection circuit, because here large amount of heat, large amount of power, large amount of current, large amount of voltage is required, is generated, therefore we need various types of protections. So there are over voltage protection circuits, over current protection circuits, some of the snubber circuits, so some are the crowbar circuits. This is the whole about the unit number 2, that is thyristor family devices. Now looking to the unit number 3, that is turn on and turn off methods of thyristor. As we already discussed, turn on is also called as a triggering methods, and turn off is also called as a commutation methods. So looking to the first SCR turn on methods. First is high voltage thermal triggering. Here high voltage is given to the SCR, then it will generate more voltage, more current, and it will start or it will goes into the conducting mode therefore it will turn on. Now next is the illumination triggering. Illumination is nothing but the light triggering, which is also called as optical triggering. Third is dv by dt triggering. Here the differentiation of the voltage is required, or the changes in the voltage are done, by which SCR is going to be turned on. And most useful method to turn on the SCR is called as a gate triggering. By giving the current to the gate, then then gate will be activated, gate current will be starts flowing. Because of that, SCR will be turned on. These are nothing but the SCR turn on methods. Now next is the gate trigger circuit. Gate triggering methods are also classified into two types. One is resistance and second is resistance capacitance circuits. Now the next is SCR triggering using UJT and PUT. Fourth one is pulse transformer and optocoupler based triggering. And last is the SCR turn off methods, which is nothing but the commutation methods in which we will turn off the SCR. Okay, commutation methods are also divided into two types. One is natural commutation and second is forced commutation. Natural commutation, in which the source is AC. AC means alternating current. Or the forced commutation is used, in which the source is DC. DC means direct current. So the forced commutation is also classified into the current commutation, or also classified into the voltage commutation. There are various types of it, that is class A commutation, class B commutation, class C commutation, class D commutation, class E commutation, and class F commutation. This is all about the subtopics in the unit number 3, that is turn on and turn off methods of thyristor. Now looking to the next, that is unit number 4, phase controlled rectifier, which contain 18 marks. Now as we already discussed about the controlled rectifiers and uncontrolled rectifiers, the rectifier circuit using diode, which converts AC into the fixed DC, then it is called as a uncontrolled rectifier, where diode is used. Okay, in controlled rectifiers, if we use SCR instead of diode, then we get variable DC. Means in the controlled rectifier we use SCR to convert AC into the variable DC. In the uncontrolled rectifier we use diode to convert AC into the fixed DC and variable DC. Fixed DC for the uncontrolled rectifier, variable DC for the controlled rectifier, diode for the uncontrolled rectifier, and SCR for the controlled rectifier. Okay, so looking to the first point, there is a firing angle and conduction angle. These are major part. Because of that we get variable DC, because by changing the firing angle or conduction angle we get the variable DC output. Firing angle is nothing but the angle at which thyristor is turned on. Okay, and conduction angle is nothing but the duration or period for which transistor remains on, that is angle between the SCR turn on and turn off. Angle between the SCR turn on and turn off is called as a conduction angle. Okay, now looking to the point 2, there are various types of the phase control rectifier. Means there is a classification of control rectifiers. There are basically two types. One is half wave control rectifier and second is full wave control rectifier. Then full wave control rectifier is also classified into two points, that is midpoint configuration or bridge configuration. Again, bridge configuration is classified into two types, that is semi converters and full converters. These are related like the classification of rectifiers, that means half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier. Again, the full wave rectifier means if a single diode is used, then it is called as a half wave rectifier. If two diodes are used, then it is called as a center tap full wave rectifier. If the 4 diodes are used, then it is called as a bridge full wave rectifier. Similar to that, control rectifiers are also classified into the half wave control rectifier and full wave control rectifier. Full wave control rectifier is again classified into the midpoint configuration and bridge configuration. Okay, now the third point is also the configuration of bridge controlled rectifiers, where we can see the full bridge, half bridge, common anode, common cathode, SCR in one arm diodes and also in another arm. Now the last one is unit number 5, industrial control circuits, which contains 15 marks. Here we can see the various applications, like first is the burglar alarm system. Burglar alarm system we can use in the case of if the robbery is occurred in the bank or the thief is coming in the home, then the burglar alarm should be on, which will be operated by using some of the power electronic devices. Second is the battery charger using SCR, means if the voltage, consider there is a sum of the voltage such as 15 volt. If the 15 volt is decreased, then SCR turns on and it will charge to the battery, so that this 15 volt is maintained, which is called as a battery charger using SCR. Third is emergency lighting system. Fourth one is temperature controller using SCR. Then fan speed control using TRIAC. Second point is SMPS, switch mode power supply. It is switching its mode for the power supply. Third is uninterrupted power supply. There are two types, one is offline and online, means when the light turns on, then at time UPS store the energy in the battery, and it also provides the light in the house. But when the light from the main source is absent, then it will give energy from the stored battery, which is called as a uninterrupted power supply. This UPS is also we already used in our college. Now the fourth one is SCR based AC and DC circuit breakers, means if there is a large amount of power, large amount of voltage, large amount of current is occurred in the system, then there should be breakers which will protect the device. There are two types basically, one is AC circuit breaker and second is DC circuit breaker. Now this is whole about the unit number 5, industrial control circuits, which is 15 marks. Now here is the end of the today's session. We will conclude here. In the next lecture we will start the actual syllabus from unit number 1, that is power electronic devices. That's all for the today. Thanks for watching.